All right, let's get right into this explainer. Today, we're talking about transforming your daily corporate grind into a deeply intentional journey towards sustainable happiness. Look, as high-achieving professionals, we've all been there, right? It is so incredibly easy to tie our entire sense of well-being to our output, our job titles, and how everyone else perceives our success. But here's the thing. True, lasting peace, you're not going to find it in a promotion, a bigger paycheck, or by constantly trying to impress people. It's actually built quietly, through simple, deliberate daily habits.
So, for those of us seeking a bit more calm in the chaos, we're going to break this down into 6 core habits. We've got stopping the performance, speaking less, filtering noise, keeping a lighter perspective, giving to grow, and committing to daily growth. Let's jump in. Habit number 1, stop performing for others. This is all about the power of not showing off. We put an immense amount of pressure on ourselves to constantly project success, don't we? It's like a never-ending hamster wheel. Just look at the difference between the exhausting cycle of seeking public validation versus the sheer freedom of self-acceptance. The anxious professional feels this intense, burning pressure to maintain an image, posting about every tiny win, constantly competing with colleagues. It's an anxiety factory. But the calm professional, they enjoy their successes quietly. They have this deep internal peace that literally doesn't need anyone else's applause to exist. So, what does this look like in the real world? It means stepping off that social media performance treadmill. Think about the last big project you crushed. Instead of immediately drafting some boastful LinkedIn update just to prove your worth to strangers, what if you simply celebrated that win privately with your team? Pursuing your career goals strictly for your own personal growth, rather than for public praise, instantly takes that heavy weight of maintaining a corporate persona right off your shoulders. It really boils down to this. Happy people don't try to look happy. They simply are happy. That's absolutely crucial. True fulfillment doesn't need an audience, and it certainly doesn't need an ongoing performance to be real. The second you stop trying to impress everyone else, you completely break that exhausting cycle of comparison and competition at work. You actually start valuing your own peace way more than anyone else's attention. Moving on to habit number 2, speak less, observe more. This is all about mastering your communication. Now, speaking less is actually a massive strategic advantage in a noisy corporate environment. Protecting your peace means choosing exactly when to engage your energy, instead of just reacting to everything thrown your way. We so often think that quickly explaining ourselves or, winning some petty office argument shows strength. But in reality, choosing silence is the ultimate power move. It demonstrates immense emotional control. It proves you aren't easily manipulated or drained by the chaos swirling around you. Try applying these 3 simple steps in your next high-stakes meeting. If you're challenged, just pause. Literally, take a breath. Observe the dynamics of the room. When you speak less, you're automatically forced to listen and actually understand the situation better. And because of that, when you finally do contribute, your words will carry significantly more weight and command way more respect. Keep this anchor in mind throughout your workday. Speak less, observe more, and your life will become peaceful. Conserving your words, quite literally, conserves your mental energy. You don't have to win every single argument. You don't have to constantly prove your point to your coworkers. By just deciding not to react to everything, your professional life becomes noticeably lighter. It's a total game changer. All right, habit number 3, filter out the noise. Let's talk about ignoring the nonsense. In any organization, there will always be opinions, judgments, and a million distractions. But think about how much power you're giving away when you let every single Slack notification or bit of break room gossip derail your focus. When you react to a negative comment or get sucked into office drama, your mind just becomes heavy. But when you actively choose to ignore the nonsense, you take back absolute control over your environment. Nothing can easily disturb a properly guarded mindset. So here's a super quick mental filter you can use every single day to instantly block out distractions that just don't serve you. When you're confronted with workplace drama or, say, a wildly frustrating email, just pause and ask yourself, does this truly matter? Is this genuinely going to impact my long-term trajectory? If the answer is no, and let's be real, it usually is, drop it immediately. Redirect your focus right back to the deep work that actually moves the needle in your career. Because remember, what you ignore loses power over you. Ignoring nonsense isn't passive avoidance.
Actually, scratch that. It's the exact opposite. It's an active demonstration of your internal strength. By refusing to give importance to the unimportant, you're carving out vast amounts of space for the work, the growth, and the peace that genuinely matters. Next up is habit number 4, choose a lighter perspective. This is the strategy of laughter. Look, corporate life is undeniably stressful. We all have that one project that seems cursed from day one, right? But laughing about it doesn't mean you're ignoring reality. It means you're refusing to let corporate stress break you. Taking every minor obstacle too seriously makes life feel incredibly heavy. Laughter is actually a biological and psychological release valve. It relaxes your mind and body, literally pulling you out of an anxious spiral and dropping you right back into a state of calm capability. Applying this means actively finding lightness in the daily grind. It turns high-pressure moments into manageable, bite-sized hurdles. When a minor, totally unavoidable error happens, or a project deadline suddenly shifts out of nowhere, try smiling instead of panicking. Handling those inevitable speed bumps with a light heart, that shows true leadership, and it proves your happiness isn't fragile. Plus, a lighthearted approach directly combats the isolating, heavy burden of burnout. By keeping a lighter perspective, you're not just making your own day easier, you're naturally building stronger, more resilient relationships with your colleagues. Let's face it, positive, grounded energy in the room is highly contagious, and people love being around it. Habit number 5, give to grow. Let's focus on helping others. Sustainable, deeply grounded happiness actually requires us to help others succeed through small, everyday acts of professional generosity. And this doesn't have to be some grand, sweeping gesture. Most of the time, it's as simple as offering a bit of guidance to a junior colleague, making a point to freely give credit during a team meeting, or honestly, just quietly listening to a peer who is having a genuinely tough day without interrupting them. There's a great truth to this. The more you give to others, the more peace you feel within yourself. Giving without expecting a single thing in return naturally shifts your professional mindset from quiet frustration straight into profound gratitude. When you expand your focus beyond your own immediate problems, your entire perspective broadens. You stop comparing yourself to everybody else and start recognizing the immense value you already have to share. And finally, habit number 6, commit to daily growth, embracing the mindset of the lifelong learner. A professional who stops learning starts feeling stuck, bored, and frustrated almost immediately. Notice how stagnant routines lead straight to emptiness, whereas consistent, small moments of learning create unstoppable forward momentum. You absolutely do not need to master a massive new skill overnight. It's all about daily evolution. Reading an insightful article, listening to an explainer like this one, observing a new workflow strategy, that constant forward motion is what protects you from workplace negativity. As the saying goes, the day you stop learning is the day you stop growing. Consistent daily learning builds this undeniable capability and confidence that naturally insulates you from external stress. When you are hyper-focused on your own daily progress, you literally lose the urge to compete with others. You get your purpose from the simple fact that today, you're a slightly better professional than you were yesterday. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a question to spark your own deliberate journey. Which of these 6 habits, stopping the performance, speaking less, filtering the noise, finding laughter, giving back, or learning daily, will you consciously implement right now, today, to protect your peace and reclaim your energy? Remember, happiness isn't something you desperately chase, it's something you quietly create. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.